In the last hour, women affected by changes to the state pension age have won the first stage of their High Court challenge against the government. It comes after this month the age that women can claim their pension rose from 60 to 65, which is the same as men. It's claimed the changes have led to thousands of women across the UK having their retirement plans annihilated. Well, joining me now is Joanne Welch, campaign director at the Back to 60 group, who are pushing for the change. And just talk us through what's happened today, Joanne.
Well, we're absolutely delighted. We went to court and every argument was accepted, and we were absolutely thrilled to be at this stage. Everybody said, don't bother, you know, you'll never get anywhere. And we went forward, and all the 50s women fought so hard to get to this point. We had to crowdfund, there's no legal aid. We fought tooth and nail to get to this point, is the précis, and we're absolutely delighted. We couldn't be happier. The women were crying outside the court. They're absolutely thrilled. We went on a battle bus and we toured Parliament, DWP, Treasury and 10 Downing Street, and we've made our own film, which will be broadcasting. I mean, the delight was... it's been such a memorable day. I shall never forget it.
And by 50s women, Joanne, you mean you are part of a group of women born in the 1950s who are particularly affected by this change, and you've now been granted a judicial review. Just talk us through why you think the change in the pensions policy was unfair.
Well, the arguments against us were equality, longevity, transitional arrangements and National Insurance Fund. Firstly, the National Insurance Fund is full to bursting. There's £400 billion missing from the fund, says Paul Lewis of BBC Moneybox Live, and that successive governments have mishandled that fund. That's number one. The government said they gave us £1 billion transitional arrangements. No, they didn't. They just took less away from us. No one person received any money. Longevity has flatlined completely just recently, and there are statistics to prove that from the ONS, from the government's own archives. And what was the first one?
Equality,
yeah,
because that is a question. We talk a lot about wanting to have equality with men. So do you not agree that if we want equality with men, we want to be treated the same, we want to be paid the same, then the retirement age, the pension age has to be the same?
No. 50s women have faced lifelong inequalities, the pension gap, the pay gap, you name it, it's mind the gap. And singularly, 50s women have faced stoically all these gaps. Well, this is the last straw, and we're not putting up with it. Yes, equality, fine, let's go for equality, but we're looking for a fair equality, not discriminatory equality. The way this was implemented, the tapering and the implementation is discriminatory, and the way it's impacted on women is, well, it's annihilated their lives.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that in more detail, Joanne. So how has this affected you and your contemporaries particularly?
Yeah. Well, Silence of Suicide did a couple of surveys, and in these surveys, women are suicidal, and we can present this evidence. We've presented it to Number 10 several times. Suicidal, self-harming, their relationships have been affected, their families have been affected, everything about their planning, you know, has been annihilated. Many of these women are part-time workers, and they looked after their families, their carers. They didn't have the opportunity that men their age had in regards eligibility for occupational pensions, even mortgages. You know, if we look back at those inequities, that tells you how unfair this is. And yes, equality.
Sorry, Joanne, I just want to be clear about it. Is it that you're campaigning for a change in the policy as a whole, or a change in the policy specifically regarding the 50s women, your group that you represent?
The judicial review is about specifically 50s women, yes. But we recognise that there are many groups out there who have feel that the causes they're fighting are also an injustice. But this is specifically about 50s women because they were targeted, and we have evidence to prove everything I'm saying. We are very confident about our position. We're in an exquisite position. We've got a world-class legal team who have fought for us tooth and nail, and I can't thank them enough. And you know, the social media feed from back260.com and at 2020 comms has gone, it's on fire. I mean, you know, I say it myself, but we deserve this to win, and we look forward to the judicial review being granted. And I understand from the judge that the next stages will be condensed so that this issue is dealt with speedily, given that we've been waiting for years and years for the government to do something. They keep saying they're going to, well, not the government, Parliament, to do something, and they never have. We're looking for deeds, not words. We're looking for the return of our earned dues.
OK. Joanne Welch, thanks very much indeed for talking to us today.
My pleasure.